Alright, guys, I am back. Now, I do not have too long. I'm gonna try to do an hour. Depends on how long I will have time to babble. Now, I know there's a lot of news. There's a lot of, I guess, hype, under hype, poop and scoop type of thing, but we'll see. So welcome. Let me put on the chat so we could see who's here. I don't, let's see, of course I was watching Moran's earlier. No, hold on, let me go back to my channel here. What was that? Okay, alright. So nobody's here yet. Okay, I see one person there. Give me 1 minute, okay? Nah. Okay, here we go. Hello, Jesus. I don't know how you go by Jesus. Hello. Welcome. Haven't seen you here before. Are you new to this channel? Where are you coming from? If you don't mind me asking. Okay, so let's see. Okay, what am I doing here? I have no idea. Alright, so let's take a look at thank you for joining the channel. Okay, so let's take a look at the short volume real quick. Just so you know, hey, I'm an investor, a hybrid investor of this company, so I'm gonna have a skewed view here. So if you're new to my channel, usually I cover a lot of things in the market and all that stuff, and usually just focusing on my main position here, which is GME. But of course, again, that's why I always say, hey, I'm biased in this sense. So if you listen, to my previous video, it's about kind of dispel a little bit of misinformation, and also kind of come up with my own theory or thesis on things and all that stuff too. So all of it's about speculation. So whether you're up, whether you're down, whether you are short, bear, bull, or whatever, you have to take, your opinion much more than other people's opinion. Yes, you could listen to both sides and see which one is the right approach for you to go into. So just caution you to become aware of what's going on in the whole market. Don't just be pigeonholed into one thing. But to preface the whole thing, of course, I'm an investor of this company. I believe in the vision of the Ryan Cohen, but also to my background as well is I used to be a day trader as well, so I understand the market and that level as well. So I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything like that. I'm learning as I go as well. Arizona, been in GME since April 21. That's great. I know, I think everybody who was aware of GME was aware of the whole market manipulation things, right? My first position was established in November. I think I had a video about that sometime in November 21, so I was way months behind you. But my cost average then, my cost, I bought in around like $60 or so, and then been averaging down ever since. So yeah, and of course, like, I believe in the vision of Ryan Cohen, and that's my initial jump on the stock itself, and coming at it at the angle of like, okay, I understand the option chain, I understand what's going on in that sense. So Okay, let's go over it. Right, Lionel's here. Thank you so much. Pretty obvious, GME. I know. We're all sold on GME, but let's kind of like bring down the hype a little bit and look at it a little bit more, kind of down a little bit of a level in which maybe, just maybe, there's something more to this than whoever wants you to believe their point of view. Of course, I want you to believe my point of view, but that's the whole point of me making the video here. But before that, let's take a look at what's going on in the market here. Of course, there was a crazy volume coming in, and we understand what's happening through anytime there's volume. Anytime there's any trace of volume into this company. Look at this. Tens of millions of shares, right? Before that, look at this. Before all that run up, before all that, shenanigans that's happening in the media, we've never seen any volume like this. So this is something of significance, okay? So my point of view is a little bit kind of leaning towards that. And I think Ryan Cohen is not a dumb person. Dumb CEO. I think he understands the option chain pretty well. I think he was buying call option on some company that I don't know. I read somewhere, but not right now. Currently, I'm talking about like years ago. Okay, I'm sure he's well aware of what's going on here, and perhaps this is why he was issuing the delusion, quote unquote delusion. It's like, of course, people would love to compare that to right away Adam Aaron. Say, oh, Ryan Cohen is worse than Adam Aaron all of a sudden. Really? In 3 years, he hadn't dilute, quote unquote dilute. I'll address that too. In 3 years, he hasn't dilute anything. And the minute he's trying to do something here, people jump on the bandwagon of like, oh, Jimmy's over. Look at this. Market mechanic, no? Don't we understand that on the level? But anyway, so let me just put my 2 cents in. Carter, thank you so much. I saw you earlier. Great video, by the way. I love you. If people think it's being manipulated with 305 million shares, what's the difference between 350 million shares if it gives us like $2 billion? Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think right now the company is trying to do something bold, right? And of course, my point of view is that I think Ryan Cohen knows about this option chain thing, right? The gamma ram or whatever. But I was listening to rants as well. The theory is that they're trying to protect themselves. Like, he is trying to protect himself. And why would Ryan Cohen be screwing himself over, right? From that perspective. But also, too, I think that he is trying to take advantage of this price spike here, priced action. Weeks to come here. I don't know how long this is going to go on for. But again, and my thought as well is that perhaps he's trying to add to the volume that is being traded. Imagine if we have more, like 40 million shares on top of this. It's gonna, again, cascading people feeding like a frenzy. When traders and institutions and all of those people are trying to, again, this is the most popular stock now at the moment in time. And so Ryan Cohen is just taking advantage of this particular ripened, time frame to try to take advantage of that price point. And of course, company could do that. Why wouldn't he, right? And again, protection, right? Self-preservation. You want the company to do well. And the fact that, look, they're not losing money to the point where it's like trillions of dollars here. People making it sound like, oh, they're going bankrupt. Really? Are you really that? I don't know. I don't even want to call people's name here. Are you that naive to think that this company is going under anytime soon? and the fact that they need the money for some reason. No, they're not needing that money to survive, so to speak. But anyway, I mean, that theory has been placed in my mind as well, because I'm following the company, just like any other, investor out there. And I'm hoping that if you just jump in at $80, you understand what you're investing in. And if you're just here for the short squeeze, okay, good luck to you. Welcome to the pain that we've been feeling for a whole 2.5 years, well, for me anyway, close to 3 years in this stock. But I got into this, honestly, I didn't get into this company because of the squeeze, right? Just like anyone else, I thought it was over, right? The reason why I bought in, it was because of Ryan Cohen, truthfully, right? And of course, thesis, and then as I dig over and over again, perhaps the thesis of MOAS is still there. That's what's always in the back of my mind. And this is why I developed the strategy that I have, and, put it in buckets so that, okay, if the MOAS theory is right, then, that amount of shares that I have for the moon back that I have would be plentiful, right? For me to take advantage of that MOAS price point. But also too, I will trim out some shares that would make sense to me, right? Again, I lay out my strategy already, so you guys could take a look at that last live stream. And again, I'm not looking to sell anytime soon until that S&P 500 for my moon back thing, right? But also too, my trading, quote unquote, my playback, I will trim some just in case the price spike before that S&P 500 announcement type thing, right? And so, you have to have those strategy in order to win out. And I'm sure Ryan Cohen is divvy up that strategy as well to keep this company, running for decade on end. Again, this is his company. He owned massive amount of shares here. So why would he shoot himself on the foot by diluting this much in order to cripple the company? No. The price action that is going to ensue, the company could take advantage of it. And I think that's why he does it this way. And there's a lot of, filings that you might not, I don't even know what to make of it, but I think there's a big moves happening here. I saw something about acquisition type thing. And the language is right there for you to read, that right here. So at the market offering, and that's another thing too. So when people are trying to compare Gamestop to AMC, please, AMC people, come on. Are you really trying to compare Adam Aaron to dilution to this particular dilution? Look at what he's doing. He's not offering it to the hedge fund people. He's not giving hedge fund, quote unquote, a handout here. If I feel like Ryan Cohen needs signal to them, it's like, hey, this is your opportunity to cover. And if you cover now, it would be better off than covering, after we're acquiring whatever, right? And so if you're not shaking at your boots yet, you better, because we're not going to give you any special treatment, after this. And if you want to be in on this company, people who are not shorting, signal to other people who are wanting to at least get a piece of this company, then you better go on the market, and buy the shares for yourself. And so again, the language here is that he's going to try to raise a modest amount of capital, with minimal market impact. So what does that language tells you? It tells you that yes, it's going to be modest amount of capital, which means a little bit more than we, anticipate, perhaps, with minimal market impact. He understands that the volume is going to come into this company in the next coming weeks. Volume is here, and including that 45 million shares being sold by the company. And anytime you see volume in this company, what do you think? As traders, okay? As people have been day trading, what do you think happens? Every single time there's any volume, this happen. This shenanigans happen. What do you think's gonna happen if it's 100, 200 million shares? 300? How about 500 million shares being traded? Retail's gonna jump on this. Traders gonna jump on this. Option buyers gonna jump on this. Right? Now, what's happening today? I bet you anything, it's the gap fill this thing. So there's some more room to fill. I mean, right here, I have that, 17. So you might be able to buy GameStop at $17 still. But keep in mind, we used to trade at $10. Okay? Now it's $17. People are crying about this? What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? I mean, for investor like me, right, who's been buying religiously, like this. I mean, look at that. I mean, I'm not a great technical analysis person, but you catch my drift though. Sorry. Anyway, so just sit tight and watch the show. If you think that this company is shitty, this company is going under, just sit tight and watch. Don't have to jump on it. No. You don't have to participate in this because it's inevitable, in my opinion anyway. Now, don't take that as a trading advice or anything like that. But to me, $20, I have a price point in which I'm like, okay, I'm going to add the regular amount, however a month that I am okay with buying into this company. I've been buying it religiously, any money that I have leftovers, of course, I have to wait. I have to take care of like bills and all that stuff first, then GME later. Now, sometime I go oversell this because at this price point right here, I cannot resist at $10. Of course, I'm going to put a little bit more there, right? Because I'm like, okay, when is it going to be the opportunity for me to buy GameStop at $10? Never. I might never see this price again. So I'm not saying that it won't drop down to 10. It could, right, with the manipulation that's happening. But what do you think is going to happen if it dropped down to 10? Do you think retail is not going to snatch this up? Come on. Ridiculous. So at every opportunity, of course, I'm going to dip buy. But also keep in mind the $17 a share here is still in play. I might wait a little bit. I have a couple $100 right now, but I might wait a little bit for perhaps to get some at 17. But it depends on what's happening on Monday, pre-market, right? So pre-market, usually they have the ability to drop the price down without the halt. The same way pre-market usually is the time when they spike the price up too. And so that's another manipulation that they usually do, so that people who are in the regular trading hours don't get to take advantage of the price spike. So it goes up to $80 and then coming back down at the trading down to around $60 or so. So if you don't know how to buy in the pre-market or post-market, you won't be able to, or after hours trading, you won't be able to take advantage of this $80 price here. But anyway, that really doesn't matter here. I honestly think that this is just technical. This gap fill is due because I talked about that a few days ago to be aware of that one. And again, the negative sentiment is always here on this company. I'm used to it. I'm sure if you've been investing in this company for a whole bunch of years, you've used to this numb to all of this BS. So yeah, I mean, that's just my point of view here. I'm sure you guys think along the line of the same way. Now, for the bears out there, obviously they already written GME as a bankrupt company, shitty company. If you hold on to this and you didn't sell at 80, you are an idiot and all that stuff. Those terms, it's reserved for people who are chasing this thing, right? Again, if you just bought this company at 80, good luck to you. You're chasing this. And this is why FOMO is happening. This is why they spike it up like that and then drop you down like this. Psychologically, of course, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm down this much. I'm down hundreds of percent here. I'm down 50%, 80%, 90%. It's a piece of crap. But no wonder you feel that way because you just got it. Like, where were you when we're talking about it? Here, down here. Investor always going to win out because these traders is going to take this company price to the stratosphere. Mark my word. You know why? Because they're doing this thing right here. They're chasing. Okay, chase. That's what you don't chase. You buy when you can and accumulate. What does Warren Buffett say about how holding it for a long term? And back holders, like, really? Does he feel back holding Coca-Cola share for what, 40 years? Because he knows it's a valuable company, right? With valuable leadership, with valuable, business here. Now, I understand that some people might not get it yet, that, okay, there's a piece of shit company, they're not making money and all that stuff. You might have a little bit of a point there. But again, they're small footprint. They're able to bring down the cost of doing business, right? Expensive. Oh, what's expensive? Sorry. Sell and general administration, right? All of that matters, you guys. And again, like, I have a video about how top line revenue is not everything. You should, again, it's the same trend, right? From here to here, they're able to cut down costs, right? Now, I wasn't able to figure out what the gross profit is. It's probably somewhere less than this. Maybe perhaps, what? If I have to guess, maybe it's around there. And so, the operating expenses is still a tad bit higher than the gross profit. If that's the case, but it's not by much. Remember, last quarter right here, we were kind of the difference of $58 million right there. So, with the marketable security thing, I'm sure we are able to bring in, I don't know. Again, this is just me guessing here. So the number is not up yet. The only number that we got was these numbers here that I plugged in. And so with just that balance sheets alone, obviously, it's a stellar balance sheet. At the very least, it's a clean slate, to say the least. So I've never seen any kind of article breaking down about, okay, let's breaking out the neuron, what is it, making the analysis that, okay, top line revenue is down, but increase in net profit. Okay, I mean, what does that mean? It means that they're better operator, no? I mean, that's what I take from this. And if you do the trailing 12, it's $20 million now, trailing 12. So coming this June, when they make that announcement, this, what is it called? Price to earnings right here. Where's that metric? So this is going to change to, instead of $6 million, it's going to be $20 million. Wow, that's amazing, right? I know people are going to make fun of us saying that's something to behold here. I mean, coming from losing money to make $20 million, that's a lot, right? But again, I know it's probably not enough for Wall Street to analyze this at all. Now, one more thing that I was kind of taking a note of, I was watching Uncle Bruce earlier, and okay, so Wedbush, they're telling you to sell, but the price target went up. So what gives? Okay, so what does that mean? It means that at least the bearish of the bears is still evaluating GameStop at a higher price after these announcements. So what gives? I mean, come on. Give us a little bit credit here, because I mean, even the bearish of them all, Wedbush, give us a better price target than it used to be. So it means that it's valuable step to get into whatever the announcement is. Of course, everything that I'm saying is all speculation here. My speculation is that I think Ryan Cohen knows about the option chain and knows that anytime there's volume into this company, the price will go crazy because people are feeding on that popularity. And I'm sure there's algorithm out there that anytime there's any volume being placed in this company, they are going to hunt for that liquidity, quote unquote, right? And so and then on top of that, you have FOMO, you have option chain going into the money, gamma ram and all that stuff, like Marantz has been kind of explaining a couple of days ago before the announcement. So but yeah, just be vigilant. Like, don't be FOMOing in anytime. Again, this is why I train myself to be like psychologically reversed. Anytime I want to get into something, even if it's Bitcoin and all that stuff, again, I got my training on Bitcoin here. So this price drop does not scare me whatsoever. But I've trained myself to buy on the dip, right? And again, you have to understand the mentality of an investor as well. If you are a long-term hold and all that stuff, this is how you should be training yourself. But before you do that, before you buy into any security whatsoever, you need to do your own research, have your own conviction. Because if you're just listening to me, to any other YouTuber who are bear on this company, you're going to be shorting this thinking that you're winning. Okay, all right. I hope you're not naked shorting these things. Like if you're a retail, you have the ability to sell it naked. I'm sure there's a function there, right? I've never done that before in my life. But I heard that Webull was opening up a naked call or something. Naked, you're able to sell something naked. I have to verify on that. But I'm sure they're opening it up to retail now too. If you want to short this company, you can. So there will be people who are thinking that they're smart, thinking that they were dumb, you know, that Ryan Cohen is going to dilute this company to oblivion like Adam Aaron, and they're going to short GME. And that's going to add more fuel to the fire. I'm not joking. I think, you know, the frenzy is here within this couple of weeks. So just be aware. Now, if you see the price dip like this, like crazy, please understand that it's, you know, you could get burned on this too. So don't sell your house to go all in. Don't be YOLOing into call option, right? I think what happened last time, what people don't realize is that they were diamond handing call option. And that was the what is it called? The mistake of retail investor who doesn't even know what call option is, and they bought into it, thinking that, oh, I buy into this, and I could convert into a gazillions of dollars like Keith. What they don't realize is that you have to have money to buy, you know, those call, even if it's in the money. Now, there's two options, right? You could sell that call for the value that it is, but Again, I've never hold my call option into expiration, so I don't know what that would do. So I can't speak for like inexperience why, right? But I think you need the collateral in order to exercise that call. As far as like selling it to the market, I don't know what the price would be. So I need to do more research on that one too. So, but yeah, just my point is that please don't YOLO into call option, and just understand what implied volatility is too. If you're buying into call option, thinking that you're gonna benefit so much. So do research first, and then take advantage of the if you want to do those day trading people, right? Thinking that trading call option is the thing could make you a gazillions of dollars. Okay, be my guest, but don't because if you lose money on that, don't blame it on the company itself. The company and Ryan Cohen as a leadership, he's here to run this company for the long haul. Okay, long time. So of course he's gonna do everything he can in order to protect his own asset here. And so anything he do, I think I trust him as a leader. And of course, it's not the same thing as Adam Aaron here. It's ridiculous to even think that. But anyway, so go back to the tweet thing here. So with that in mind, I'm sure he knows that's what's happening. Minimal impact to the market impact here. At a lower cost and with limited management involvement. There you go. So at the money or at the market offerings are often utilized by issuer, okay, with funding the purchase of a small acquisition. Okay, I'm skipping that, but there you go. So it just means that sometimes that's what the company needs in order to buy something. Another company, they need just a little bit more cash in order to acquire. And that's good for the company bottom line. Most importantly though, retail could snatch this up, like eat it up like candy. Because we can't get enough of this company. We want to own this company as much as we can. Well, I'm speaking for myself here. I don't understand where people coming in to my comment here. I saw one. And it was like, I don't understand you people like this guy. I can't believe you guys still didn't sell. This was your lucky chance, okay? Now they are raising capital and going back to like as if really. So $60 is all these people need in their life right now. One thing, right? To me, again, I'm holding it for a purpose, a reason. At whatever price, I'm happy to part with my share. Why is it your business, whoever you are, what Australian is that? Value? I'm sorry, like, and you think like it's coming back to $20, it's kind of like make me cry or jumping for joy. Depends on who you are. Okay, if you are shorting this company, of course you'll glee. You should be happy. You should be happy that this company dropped back to 20. So why do you want me to sell at 80? Right? It's my lucky chance. You don't even know what my lucky chance would be. Would be lucky for me. I feel lucky to even find GME at this price point. 20. 10. I mean, in my lifetime, I saw GME at $10. Don't you think that is like something of value that I will hold on forever until the end of time? Or no, right? I don't have the same emotion as you do, sir, or ma'am, or whoever you are, or robot. Who knows? It could be a robot too. But My point is, I already have the conviction in this company. That's why I bought in at $10, okay? When people are telling me to sell, the conviction is strong here into this company, okay? And so as a result, I've been averaging down. So now it doesn't take much for me to be in profit. And so when I see this thing, this thing spike, you think I'm going to be like scrambling for like, oh, I got to sell now. It's like, no. Like, that's why between... anyway, I'm going to be exhausting myself talking the same thing over and over again. Again, it's very difficult for me to get people to understand this company too. Like the other day, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, man, I was trying to get him to get into Gamestop, and he just doesn't understand what this company is doing. And I was showing him the balance sheets, and he just doesn't see, the same narrative, right? Digital and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, you got to understand it on the other level too, is that the company has so much layers to this story. It's not just what GameStop is able to make as a business. Now, that's one thing. That's one layer. The other layer is Ryan Cohen, right? The fact that he's very knowledgeable about the market itself, I think, my opinion, right? I don't know the guy personally, so I could observe what he's doing quite well. But again, it's all speculation here. So Ryan is a knowledgeable investor. However, any money that he got from Chewy, he invests in Apple. Right? Why would he all in on Apple if he knows that Apple is not the valuable company that he wanted to hold forever, right? I'm sure he did some research first before going in all into Apple, to the point where he's the largest shareholder of Apple stock, individually. And then, from then on, he was able to, make billions of dollars, multiple. And the rest is history. And he used some of that money going into GME looking for another opportunity. And he saw this opportunity to be at least, building a legacy that lasts forever. That's just my opinion too, right? Who knows? He might be just selling it off to whoever needs to bid on it. That's another possibility too. I mean, it could happen, but why would he do that? When he could be a legend. He already is a legend just by, being in this company and not even taking any salary. Not many CEO could do that. Okay. So, that's just my rant for today. Let me see. So, trading card right here. So let's talk about this one. I saw a video about how GameStop was mispricing some of these cards. Now, I'm not a collector, so I don't know. I'm not well versed on this. Like all of these trading cards, I don't understand it. I don't know how they evaluate the price, how they would give, whoever wants to collect it or buy it from someone and resell it into the market. Again, this is, a place for you to do that, at least, right? So my perspective on that, let's say somebody who doesn't know anything about this trading card, and all of a sudden GameStop say, hey, I could buy this from you at 20. Well, originally I didn't know if I would have just thrown it away, right? Without knowing anything about the card. And so to me, that's value, added to me not knowing that, hey, that's an even exchange, no? Even though if I sell it on eBay, it's probably getting more, but at least I get some value from it, because otherwise I would have just tossed it away, right? So again, like people complaining about how GameStop doesn't give them enough money for the card itself. But the perspective is different for me. Again, because I don't collect the card, I might be, upsetting all of the Pokemon community here. I apologize if I do. But contrarian CEO, of course, he is a unique character, to say the least, to be a CEO. And I think he's so knowledgeable about any angle. Think about it. 3 years ago, we, as a GameStop, he was able to raise money. Now, I said he, of course, it's probably all of the board of director. They come up with hey, we need to do an at-the-market offering and all that stuff. So they were able to raise some money. And with that money, he was kind of like sitting on cash. Meanwhile, yes, we burned some cash here and there. Throughout the 3 years that we've been in, that money, we actually only burn, quote unquote. I have to put it on quote because we didn't actually burn. We just used it to pay off debt, liability, and all that stuff. So to use the term cash burn, it's not truly what happened. But all of that, we got NFT marketplace, we got the ability for us to go even further. But look at this. So cash equivalent, right? If you look back in the history of this company, cash equivalent, right there, this is the highest it ever been. So from here to here, what is that? That's like $600 million. So if you want to be fair, every year the company burned $200 million every year in terms of cash on hand here. But you have to account for what's happening to the shareholder equity. Okay, if you look into shareholder equity, it increased. Oops, sorry, you guys, sorry. 1 second. Right here. Hold on. My bad. So, this is 19. I lost my, terrible. Here we go. Okay, sorry. So shareholder equity only decreased by $300 million. Okay? So is that really a loss though, right? But again, they're cleaning. So in order to make this company profitable, the company has to use some capital here, right, in order to do that. But he's been a good steward of this capital for 3 years. So why wouldn't I want to give him more to do even more for this company, right? So that's the point of, capitalism, right? For the company to go to the public and say, hey, I need some money. Here's however many shares you are buying into it, the company is going to benefit from it directly, not Wall Street. Traditionally, here's what happened in the banking system, right? Of course, I think this is the reason why the media hates Ryan Cohen so much, because he doesn't give them any heads up, right? Or hand out, so to speak. Traditionally, anytime the company needs money, they have to go to either the bank or private equity or whoever, and beg for money. Say, hey, I need $100 million. Oh, I need $2 billion. Whatever the amount of money is. Traditionally, CEO would have to go to the bank and beg for them to say, hey, I have a business. Here's the balance sheets. I need $500 million right now. And the bank would be like, okay, we need $500 billion. You need to give me 10% and give me the right to exercise your shares at will above everybody else. If anything happened to your company, I get paid first in full. Ryan Cohen doesn't do that. He goes to the market and say, hey, if you want to get in on this company, yes, there's a risk factor behind it, but at least there you go. If we're successful in turning this business around, you're going to benefit from the shares that you bought. However many shares you got, that's your ticket right there. But this could be at risk of bankruptcy. Maybe, I can't, or management cannot manage the money well, for example, Adam Aaron. And again, those risk factors really exist, so you need to understand that as well if you buy into this company. But Ryan Cohen, again, he has proven to us 3 years already that he's been a good steward of this money here, right? So yes, we lost, we burned some cash, but we used that to, decrease in liability and increase in the book value as well. Like if you look at the book value, from, again, book value without goodwill here. So this is why I, have this line right here. If you look there, there's a lot, there's sometimes right here at one point in time, we were $5 a share, $6 a share. But before this, before we had that cash, capital raise, right there, we were burning sometime for quite a bit right there. And you could see it over here. Right there, 100, famously, if you do a trailing 12, it's probably easier to look into. Let's see. I think this is a trailing 12 right here. So net loss is there. I'm not, trying to sugarcoat it, but again, this is when, oh my God, Jimmy lose $1 billion, it's going under, right? So this is when the short thesis was at full swing. And this is why they're so egregious at shorting this company to oblivion. But this is when Ryan Cohen got in and he started to clean houses. Okay. Now, when was... Yeah, I don't have the shareholder equity on this one. Shit. Okay, never mind. But my point is, again, shareholder equity book value is still valuable at this point in time. So with this at the market offering, we could possibly increase this book value even more, right? And I think this is why, look, this is why you have this, let me see, this bearish of all bears, Wedbush, increase the price target to $7. Wow. Thank you, Wedbush. I appreciate that. At least you increase our value to close to $2 a share. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that price target. And so perhaps the book value is going to be higher. Maybe $7 a share, perhaps, right? Okay. Whatever he does with the money is fine with me because he has 36.8 million shares. Is that the real amount? Wow, I didn't realize how much he has. I know he had like more than 10%, right, or 12% or something like that. But yeah, that's a massive amount of money there. But again, yeah, he diluting himself right here. He, again, for what? For longevity. Honestly, I think he looking out for the, for his own asset here. Let's see. He is a better trader than me, and it's in his, in his and the best interest. His interest, best interest. Wow, I'm sorry. I can't even. Sorry, I'm terrible at reading. Very, very terrible. I'm actually thirsty, actually. End of story. Yes, it's in his best interest and the board of director, because they're all shareholder. That's another thing that people don't realize. The board of director actually use their own money to buy into the company. We don't give them anything. Yeah, sometimes rewarded shares and all that stuff, but due to, only for people who are actually doing the work for the company, right? Board of director, unless you are working for the company at something, right, to benefit the company bottom line, you are not getting rewarded shares just by sitting on the board of director. And if you want in on it, you need to use your own money to buy into it and sit on the board and benefiting it from and benefit the company bottom line. So that's why I respect the company, because no one could just be associated with some sort of like network kind of thing, and then because so and so, you get to sit on the board of director and collect shares without benefiting anything from the company, for the company. And worse, just taking from the shareholder in order to do what? What are you doing for the company, right? And again, like the fact that he declining awarded shares too when he was sitting on the board of director. Remember that? Like he was qualified to have like 100 or 200,000 shares as the board of director, and he declined it, right? And so he's a principal person. I think, a contrarian CEO that has a stand, right, about the landscape of corporation at large. He hates overpaid executive, right, that is there just to leech off of the shareholder equity and all that stuff of the public, and worse, trying to deceive the public to say, hey, we're doing this for your best interest, when behind closed door you're just making this secret deal to screw over retail, right? So you understand, this is why we don't like Adam Aron. Okay, this is why Ryan Cohen is different than Adam Aron. This is why GME is different than AMC, and the fact that people are still compared the two, which is so, I don't understand this either. But again, we're all being manipulated, and in the beginning of it, me included, of course, I was AMC shareholder as well. But ever since Adam Aron issue aped, I jumped out of it before ape was issued, because I saw it as a massive dilution and retail screwing over, right? Got screwed over. And so I'm not going to stand behind CEO like that. Yeah. And what happened to the share price? I mean, people still compare the two. Let me see. Tonko Native, right? Oh, I have something to say about Tonko Native. I know he never say anything about me, so I shouldn't. But there was a curiosity of mine. But anyway, so AMC stock price is right now at $4, right? And of course, it's backed up with GME. And if you listen to Moran's, if you're new to this, don't know who Moran's is, go ahead to listen to him. He's explained in depth of what this is happening, why this is happening, why it moves the same way. So the manipulation that happens within this particular stock as well. And yeah, the media, anytime AMC at GME runs, they just run the story. Oh, AMC is the same thing. And so no, they're not the same thing. Anyway, so go back to Tonko Native. You know how he was saying he was selling GME at $12, and then the next day when it jumped to 30 something, the next day he was like, oh, I sold at no, this is not, hold on. I sell at 33 and never look back. Okay, at what point did you buy back? I thought you sell it at 12. When did you make a video about buying GME back for you to be able to sell at 33? You see what I mean? So again, these people, I don't know. Again, I don't know if this guy is being paid or anything like that. Of course, that would be my speculation, but it would just be my speculation. I'm sure he probably feel that way, truly. Perhaps that's why he's spending so much time talking about it, thinking as, but there's misinformation about this company being spread by him too, about how the share price is this, share price is that. However, I don't blame him, because perhaps that's what he thinks, because he's not an investor. He doesn't understand the company has been split, has a stock split 4-1. And so when he said, oh, it used to be $400 and then it dropped down to what, $12 or $10 or whatever, right? He doesn't reference the right thing. That's my point of that. But I just thought it was so comical that he was like, oh, I sell at 12, right? And then when did he buy back to be able to sell at 33? So if you think it's a shitty company, why are you buying into it, right? So if you are a trader, then why are you acting like you're somehow well-versed on the company at large? No, you don't ever talk about the company balance sheets or the prospect of the business itself and all that stuff. Yeah. Again, this is a turnaround company. Of course, we're in transition right now. There's a lot moving part here that people need to understand first before you put money into this company. So that's all I ask you guys to do. At least know about the company fundamental, right? Why is it only one analyst talking about this? So, all right, guys. I know we talk a lot about GME. I think I'm dying of thirst right now, but let me just end it here. But yeah, thank you for sitting in the show with me, and I appreciate every single one of you. Sharon, thank you. Carter, Lionel, and of course Jesus, thank you for coming in. All right, I will see you when I see you. I hope you learned something though. I know I babble a lot. All right, I'll let you go. Bye. The one fair analysis everybody loves. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you, Carter.